So I'm gonna teach you how I made over $300 with this trade, and then I made $130 with this trade with the same strategy. So it's very simple. This is going to be the easiest thing that you're going to learn from me in this course, but let's just get straight into it. So, what I like about this strategy is that it's pretty reliable and the win rate is pretty high. And if you do lose, most likely the next day you're going to win. Or if you don't win for an entire week, you're going to get some really, really big gains. And no matter how you look at it, you're not going to lose as much money as how much money you make. So, with that being said, it's like your TP can be very, very high, right? And your stop loss can be pretty tight compared to your TP. Like, for example, this day. So I'm gonna tell you, let's just start from this was Wednesday. This was yesterday. So this was an easy trade. All all we're doing is really buying calls in the morning. The market is always closing out green, and the morning is just setting out, like, getting the people in trades or outside of trades. So what I personally do is wait till we at an oversold spot in the morning and buy calls. It's that simple. Now, this would be way more difficult if we didn't have VWAP. VWAP. I like to use VWAP with this strategy. A lot of the times I wait until 7 o'clock until we buy a trade, but I'm going to show you how to trade this. So obviously what you want to do is turn on your volume weighted average price. I tell you guys this every time I teach you guys something new. Just turn on that volume weighted average price. And then what you want to do is make sure the price is crossing the blue VWAP. As long as it's not going in one direction, you don't want to trade the opposite direction. You literally want to trade it when you know it's crossing, and if it's crossing, you're in a good position. So for example, I'm going to show you a pretty quick example with this one. Price started to fall outside of the VWAP. That means it's getting oversold. It's under its average price. So what I wanted to do was look for calls. I could have did the same thing with puts, but with this strategy, it's more profitable if you're trading with calls. That's why I like calls so much. And this could work on futures. What would it be called? Longs? You would long the market. Instead of calling, you would long it. Or just buy. So I waited until price literally comes out of this VWAP range, and then I want to start seeing some buying activity. So as long as I'm seeing buying activity in strong body candles, and strong body candles are basically candles like this. You get a candle that it was going down, right? But it made a wick, and then on its top, there's really no wick on the top. Like, that means there's not enough sellers. And then I bought some calls at the end of this candle. I was like, okay, we closed above the VWAP ranges. So my TP is right here and right here. So with the blue VWAP, you could sell positions at the blue VWAP. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But since I'm trying to maximize the gains, I set my TP all the way up here. This should be your first TP. When the price is above VWAP levels. That's how I set my TPs, and that's where I sell. So I wanted to sell a majority of my contracts up here, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't leave any runners. So whenever you trading this, your contracts can go up like 3, 4, 500% if you hold all day. But some days it's not gonna be doing that. So how I look at it is when I sell, I think about the person who just entered and what they see and why this contract could potentially go up. A big reason why I sold majority of my contracts is because we couldn't make a newer high. If we made a newer high on a 1 minute and we closed up there on a 5 minute, I would have held my contracts. I would have just sold a couple of my contracts and hold runners. And runners are basically, let's say I buy 10 contracts and then I sell 7 contracts. The last 3 is runners, so it can make a little bit more money, but or you can just sell half. I have 10 contracts, I sell half right here, and I let the runners run. The more runners you have, the more money you will make. But the more runners you sell, the more safer the investment would be to not lose money. Because once I sell my contracts, I already locked in profit. I'm good. I could sell all of my contracts and still end the day green. But we're trying to maximize our spending. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is making a newer, like, why this making a lower high? I don't want to be in a lower high position. So I sold these contracts. That's exactly how I made over $100. And I only invested $500 with this trade. So if I invested like $1,000, I would have probably made like $200. And this was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was 5 minutes, and boom, $133. And then as you see, price does go up, but it takes a whole hour for it to go up. So even if we held our contracts, right, and price came all the way up here, we wouldn't even be selling at the same price of the contracts because our premiums are going to be lower because of the time decay. I will only hold these contracts if they are signaling a trend. But a lot of times Mondays, Thursdays, but not Wednesday. Wednesdays, it's hard to lose money, but with Wednesdays, there's always like some type of sell-off, our trend day. And that's exactly what happened. We could have reversed and bought puts, but me personally, if I was going to buy puts, I want to buy them at the highest part of the day instead of the lowest part of the day. So that's exactly how I made over $133 with just this one trade. It was that simple. Waiting until price comes out of the VWAP range when it's oversold, then I buy the fear, and then I sell within the greed. Let me see if you guys got any questions. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask. It will make the video be better. No questions? Well, I did explain this a lot of times, so I would be surprised if you guys don't get it, but hopefully everybody do get it. I don't see any questions, and if there's any questions, type them in the general. So now we're gonna go into Thursday. Now you're gonna see the same exact thing. It may be way more better that I'm showing you 2 different days where I use the same exact strategy. Now, this day. Hold on, let me see if there's a question real quick before I start this day. No questions, it seems. Okay, so this day. This day was literally the same exact thing. I waited until price started falling down, and then once we get that strong body candle, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that strong body candle and a close inside of VWAP range, and that's exactly what I did. I wanted to wait until we get some pretty good selling and buying, and once we got that buying, I wanted to buy my contracts. I bought my contracts, right? And then as soon as I bought my contracts, we went through this candle. Now I was determining if I should sell, but I was like, okay, we can at least, like, these wicks are making some pretty hard levels, so I wanted to have my TP up here. So when price came up here, I didn't sell because I was like, okay, I know it's gonna break it just a little bit. And then boom, we got the trend effect. We got this big 7 o'clock candle. So I bought 5 contracts and I sold 3 of them. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell 3 of them just because I like where this contract is at. I like where this is going, so I'm gonna hold my contracts. And then what you do is just have a new stop loss. If I bought right here and I want to sell, if the price came to this blue VWAP, I would have kind of got a little scared out of my contracts, or outside of these VWAP at break even. But it didn't. And it kind of came close to VWAP. I was just waiting, and then it started making new highs. Once it started making new highs, I felt way more confident. Then we came to this level. I was selling contracts, and then I ended up selling right here because the price was up here, and it came down here. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of my contracts. But this trade went up while I was inside of it over 125%. So you would have literally doubled your money if you took this same exact trade, and it went up way more higher. The goal is to make sure we green every single day, and it doesn't really matter about maximizing our profit because we did take a loss on Tuesday. That trade on Wednesday and Thursday covered our loss and more. So now we're more in the green than what we lost. And then Monday we had a $700 day. The trades are going to get better and better and better and better. That's exactly why I'm doing this $1,000 to $10,000 challenge. I'm literally showing you guys that it's possible to make money without having a lot of money. For example, this trade we made $300 in a day, right? $300 divided by 8, that's $37 an hour. And that's on an 8-hour shift. So if, wait, hold on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I would have still have to been working, right? If I was making $37 an hour, I would still have to been working if I entered when the market opened and when the market closed. I still got like one more hour left to make that whole $300. But I made it in Vegas. Literally, hold on. Literally out here right now. I got like this sign in front of me that says, this property is 100% no smoking, no vape, no cigarettes, and no weed. If smoking occurs during your stay, a $250 cleaning fee will be billed to your account. Holy, $250. Wait, they lowered the price. It used to be $500, but now it's $250. I think they're getting less strict. No, I'm just kidding. But it's trading. It's like you get to make money anywhere. If I wanted to, I could have went to the pool and made money in the pool and got the same trade. Because once you understand it, it's hard to look at a trade, look at SPY and look at the price and be like, oh, what the heck? This is weird. It's going to correct itself in the next 10 to 15 minutes or the next hour. And boom. That's exactly how we made $300. Like, we already paid for this hotel just this week alone with just trades. We're only from $1,000 too. That's the point. I started off with $1,000. Now we're already at $2,000. Most likely about to end this week with $3,000. So make sure you guys know, like, hey, you don't need a lot of money to start trading, or you don't need to be a billionaire or millionaire to get into stocks. That's what options are for. It's for leverage or hedging your losses. But it's an opportunity for people who don't have a lot of money. This is very, very simple and very, very easy. You turn on that VWAP, you look when it's get oversold in the morning, then you buy calls, and then price start to shoot up. That's when you want to sell. You want to sell outside of VWAP, lock in profit, or if you got like some strong risk and you want to make the moon every single day, you could have saw this 7 o'clock candle and sold up here instead. I would have made way more money if I sold 3 of my contracts up here instead of 1. But there's always going to be the next day. It's always going to be Friday. Then it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Shoot. Freaking there's war tension going on, and we're still making money with stocks. And SPY is at 611. Most likely going to hit its all-time highs very soon. You're never going to just trade for years and not understand the market. And if you're learning from every single loss, you'll understand. Like, for example, I'm able to know if morning calls are good or not by seeing how it reacts off of the VWAP levels before I buy. I don't want to buy a contract. I don't want to buy a call when price just opens up and it just start going down all day. And it break every single level. No level matters. That's when you want to enter puts and follow trend. But when we're in calls, the trend is more so bullish throughout this. Well, just it's throughout these couple of months. That's why the price been. Look at this. The price just been going up, just like this. And in the mornings, there's billions of dollars being traded, because in the mornings that's when majority of the traders are locking in their trades or selling their positions from yesterday. It's so much stuff that's happening in the market where it's hard to make money if you sell when it's overbought and you buy when it's oversold. So is there any questions with that? I'm surprised there's no questions actually. I'm gonna wait a little bit and yap some more, but it's literally this simple. I know you guys could get it because the VWAP is telling you when to buy. I should make an indicator, and I release it for free. As soon as price come outside of the VWAP, that's when you want to start buying, and when you start seeing some buying activities and strong candles. And then whenever you see price come outside of the VWAP, and it's still the morning, because you can use this strategy in the morning. If you bought over here 609, dropped all the way to 608. Let's see if this is a dollar gain right here. Oh no, it's not a dollar gain, but it's 20 more cents and it would have been a whole dollar. That would have still been a good morning. If you invested $1,000, you would have made $200 to $300, just like that in the market. Just like that. And this is from 644 to 651. That's not even 10 whole minutes. So it's more so about finding those levels, and once you see those levels, it's hard to miss. And once it's hard to miss, it's harder to not make money. If you're not buying the contracts, just go on a replay mode and back test and feel more confident in yourself, so when it's happening live, you be able to take action and make the money and believe in your strategy. It's really about believing in yourself, because I could have sold right here, or I could have sold up here. Calculate your risk, calculate your reward. I was willing to make a lot of money just from this trade, just because I believe that I could make a lot of money from this trade. So it's also a mindset thing when you're going into it as well. You need to make sure you're confident in your trades. I don't know if you got to be confident in yourself, but at least in your trades. You get what I'm saying? Because as long as you're confident in your trades, you're not going to let fear make you sell, or you're not going to let greed make you sell. And you could sell early. That's what the market is, realistically. It's fear and greed. People don't want to lose money, but people want to make money. And it shows in the charts. For example, the price isn't just going to keep on going up all day. But something like this could get a lot of people outside of calls, because they think it's going to keep on going down, fear. And this could get people into calls because they're following trend and using their greed, thinking that they're going to make more money. It's that simple. Fear and greed. Learn how to trade fear and control greed. And once you learn how to do those two simple things, that was some really good advice. Control your fear and trade your fear and control your greed. That was I wish I heard that when I was an unprofitable trader. Because realistically, that's all it is. If you sell too early, you probably sold because of fear. Or if you bought in a bad position, you most likely bought in a bad position because of your greed. So that's basically the day with this. With these two trades, I made over $407. I only traded $500 on each trade. So with just those $500, I down there at 95%, about to be 100%. And then we still got Thursday. So we making money throughout this whole entire week, and we still got Thursday. Well, Friday, I mean. And we're gonna be trading Friday, the same exact thing. If we see those levels being respected, and the volume is there, is dropping, getting oversold in the morning, we're gonna buy calls, and then I'm going to come back and explain it to you guys who's not in the Discord, and you guys gonna be like, oh, okay, I see. Like there's no way, if you look on your chart, you'll be like, oh wow, how did I miss this? Because it's so simple. It's that simple. And you can go back and back test this. If you back test this, I back tested this for hours, so I can like make sure and be confident in myself that this is a reliable strategy. But that's basically the video. Let me see if there's any questions before I end the video. You only trade SPY? Why don't you add IWM and QQQ on your chart again? I just feel way more comfortable with SPY. Like, I made so much money with SPY. I do trade QQQ sometimes, and you could use the same exact, like, for example, I would not like trade QQQ levels because I don't trust them as much as I trust SPY levels. So if I was to look at QQQ and be like, oh, this is a good buy, or like right here, this is a good buy, I'm gonna look at SPY, and I'm gonna look at SPY, go back to SPY, and double check SPY, and if SPY goes up, QQQ will go up, IWM will go up. All of these companies will go up with SPY. So like, say if, yeah, over here was a little overbought, but this 758, this could have been an opportunity to buy some more calls. Hey, hey, I'm just telling you guys, we saw that 658, and then around 658 on SPY, we was already up. So it's like we're just trading our profit now. And then if we both got that 7 o'clock candle on two different trades, because IWM, I'm pretty sure this got his 7 o'clock candle too. Yeah, the 7 o'clock candle brought it up to the VWAP levels. So I just more personally feel way more comfortable trading SPY. It's like if you do something every single day, it starts to just become routine. Like I don't lose a lot of money with SPY. I make a lot of money with SPY. But yeah, it's opportunity. Like for example, oh shoot, my computer gonna die. You could be doing this on so many different other tickers. For example, you see price come out of the VWAP on NVIDIA, 554 all the way to 556. With NVIDIA, that would have been profit right there. We got Meta, does the same thing, guys. The same exact thing. You can trade with the VWAP. Trading VWAP is way more easier. Let's see what Tesla. Tesla is red, actually. You see just a whole bunch of consolidation. But even right here, when it comes out of these levels, what do you see it does? What do you see it do? Make a wick, or it reverses? And have it been doing that this entire day? Yeah, kind of been doing this entire day. It's like it would have been hard if you bought outside of these VWAP levels and didn't sell within the VWAP levels or at this blue VWAP line. With SPY, it's like my kid, if that makes sense. It's like I made so much money with it, got so much time spent on it, and it's like it works for me. So I know if it works for me, it will work for you. That's why I like teach you guys. If it's doing good for me, it's gonna do good for you guys. So let me see real quick if there's any new questions. Do you trade futures? Do you do future trading as well? No, I don't do futures trading. But like I could do futures trading with this same strategy, or I can use my volume strategy. With SPY, it's the whole market. So hold on. What is the futures? It didn't come outside of the VWAP level. But if I'm trusting SPY, I look at SPY and look at futures, and boom. That would have been profit right there. What would this been? 611. Dang, it went all the way up. Almost almost $100 more. But could have made money with the same trade with futures. You're not limited to only one, but me personally, that's what I trade. Sometimes I would trade QQQ, sometimes I would trade IWM, sometimes I would trade Palantir. I don't think people are in here ready for that. If your account is under 10K, no XPX for you. Or XPX. Yeah, I trade XPX. With XPX, it's a little bit more different. You're going to have to need a little bit more money to trade XPX. But with XPX, all I do is follow SPY and scalp it. That's all I do. So if price was at this level, I would have been scalping to the VWAP levels, and boom. That could have been $1,000 if I invested 10,000. Or that could have been like $400 or $500 if I invested $10,000, and that's just in a couple minutes. Or you could scalp it to the blue VWAP. It's very. I explain this like I'm explaining it to my little brother. You look, you see, and once you see what you're looking for, that's when you want to take action. Because a lot of people are buying puts because they think the price is just gonna keep on going down. So be different. Trade their fear, and trade their fear of missing out, and watch all of them lose money. And since they're losing money, they sell their contracts. Somebody else buy. It's just gonna boost up the contracts even more. Because those market makers, they gotta buy those shares. And if there's no buyers for puts, it's just gonna raise up. They're gonna have to sell a lower amount every single time, which is gonna boost up the market. So that's basically the psychology with it. You wanna identify those levels, really. Just identify those levels, and boom, you're completely good after that. So let me see if there's any new questions. Definitely scalps on XPX. Yeah, it's very easy. Do we ask questions on here or the live stream chat? It would be more easier if you asked it in a live stream chat. Oh, I'm pretty sure you already did. But yeah, it's that simple. It's not difficult at all. And if it is difficult, just leave a comment and I'll try my best to just answer it without typing too much. Or like the video if you learned something new. There's no way you guys didn't learn something new. I'm teaching you guys profitable strategies to make money. And I'm not going to teach you guys anything that's not complicated that I wouldn't understand as a beginner. That's the beautiful thing about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you guys next video. Peace out.